Same option. If you wanted. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
So we have Class.by by Sanatana Govinda Dasa Prabhu, come from Athlone, correct?
Sanatana Govinda Dasa is from Athlone, and that's his new place of residence for the last 20 years. So we've got great pleasure in coming and giving a talk here today. Sanatana Govinda Dasa Prabhu Ki Jai.
आपका वो काम है, आपका वही फजल ही आपका वही काम है, ये बहुत बड़ा काम है।
So we'll sing Jaya Madhava. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वासुदेव गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन धाम की जय, मथुरा धाम की जय, जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय, मायापुर धाम की जय, गंगा माई की जय, यमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, सामवेद भक्तवृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Govinda. All glories to Shri Prabhupada. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namini. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Acharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Desha Karini. सर्वं श्री कृष्णार्पणमस्तु कृष्णे मतिरस्तु हरे कृष्ण। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. So before we have the discussion, I would like to first have a moment of let's all together say Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times for the father of our close devotee Sri Rupa Prabhu, whose name is Don Govinda. Let's all together 3 times say Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So today we're going to talk about perpetual bliss of Krishna consciousness. So we'll start with consciousness first, because consciousness is what we are all about. The fact that I am here speaking, and we all are here together, listening together. The reason for our existence is consciousness. What is the difference between us as a living body and us as a dead body? It's the consciousness, soul. So the symptom of soul is consciousness. And Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita at many places. Krishna says, "Na jayate mriyate va kadachit, nayam bhutva bhavita manabhuyam, ajo nityam shashvatoyam purano, na hanyate hanimani sharire." So Krishna mentions to Arjuna that our real existence, na jayate mriyate va kadachit. So it's not that we have come into existence at a certain point. We are unborn, ajo, nityam, eternally existing, shashvatoyam, eternal again, purano, the oldest, na hanyate hanimani sharire. When the body gets destroyed, our original existence does not get destroyed. So this is the beginning of understanding of spiritual life. Until and unless one does not come to this basic understanding, the spiritual life unfortunately does not begin. Of course, Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita 4 kinds of people come to him. Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukritino arjuna arto jignasu arthati jnani cha bharatakshama. So Krishna mentions that 4 kinds of people come to me. So for one is Artha, one who is in distress; Jignasu, one who is inquisitive; Artho Jignasu Arthati, one who wants wealth; and Jnani, one who is in knowledge. So Krishna mentions that 4 kinds of people come to me. So the people who are either distressed or who want wealth, these 2 categories of people might not know about our original spiritual existence. Jignasu and Jnani, the inquisitive and the person in knowledge, they are in the category of this understanding that there is something more to this existence than this material body and the mind. But the person who is Artha and Arthati, the person who is distressed and the person who wants wealth, might not be. It may be that they are, but there is still a lot of attachment. But this is the beginning of spiritual life. Athato Brahma Jignasa. So this is a Veda Vakya, which is mentioned. Athaha Brahma Jignasa. So now is the time to inquire, who am I? So when we inquire our original nature, generally what happens is, when we are in this conditioned state of existence, the only thing that we know is the body, and maybe we know about our mind as well. But that is just the material knowledge, right? So the knowledge of body and the knowledge of mind is material. So Krishna actually mentions in Bhagavad Gita his inferior energy and his superior energy. So Bhumi Rapa Anala Vayu Kham Mana Bhugirevacha Ahankaram Nitya Me Bhinna Prakriti Ashtadha. So Krishna mentions that I got 8 separated energies: earth, water, fire, air, space, and then mind, intelligence, and false ego. So when we look at the 8 separated energies of Krishna, we can understand that our body is composed of the 5 gross ingredients, right? So earth, the body has got the earth part, the body has got the water part, which is the blood. The body has got the fire part. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashrita Pranapana Samayuktam Pachamyanam Chaturvidam. Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, I am present as the Vaishvanara Agni. That is a fire which is actually digesting the food that we are eating. Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita. So fire is a separated energy of Krishna, and Krishna mentions it is himself as well. Rasoham apsu Kauteya prabhasmi shashisureya. Pranava sarva vedeshu shabdam bhai paurusham dishu. Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita, I am the taste in the water. Rasoham apsu Kauteya prabhasmi shashisureya. The light that we get from the sun and the moon, Krishna says that I am. Pranava sarva vedeshu. All the Vedic mantras begins with Om. So Krishna says, I am Om. Pranava sarva vedeshu shabdam hai paurusham vishu. So whatever voice or sounds we hear in the ether, Krishna says that I am. Whatever ability a person possesses, Krishna says that I am. So how can we forget Krishna? If we want to remember Krishna, we can always remember Krishna. So we were talking about the 8 separated energies of Krishna, right? So the body is made up of that earth, water, fire, air, and the space. Space is, of course, spaces are everywhere. Space is within the body also, right? There is space within the body. Between the organs, we have space. So, and the space is outside as well. And we see that the grossness of the elements keeps decreasing and the subtleness keeps increasing. If we see earth, water, fire, air, ether, right? So air, we know that air exists, but we cannot taste air, but we can taste water, right? Fire, we go and touch the fire, our hand will get burned, right? So the subtleness keeps on increasing. And then space, we know that space exists. Without space, nothing exists. So space is the basic reason we all are existing here. So, and then there is mind, intelligence, and false ego. So again, the subtleties keep on increasing. Right? Mind is even subtler than space. We know that mind exists because there is actually a sphere of science, psychology. Psychology is actually dealing with the study of mind. So absolutely, mind exists. And we have, sometimes the science says that there are probably 80,000 thoughts a day or something like that. So we have lots and lots of thoughts that happen every day. And that composition of those thoughts is what mind is about. And then we have intelligence. Intelligence is the ingredient which is directing the mind. Right? So there is a simile given in the Upanishads about how the body is like a chariot. The body is a chariot and the soul is the person in the chariot, sitting in the chariot, right? And then the charioteer is the intelligence and the reins with which the horses, the 5 horses are the 5 senses. The sense of seeing, the sense of hearing, the sense of smell, the sense of touch. So all these senses are the horses, and the rein is the mind, and the controller of the mind is intelligence, and the person in the chariot is us. So if we don't know where to go, we will just be roaming here and there in this universe. Ek rupe brahmanda brahmite kono bhagwan jeev, Guru Krishna prasad paye bhakti lata beach. It is mentioned in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita that this is the unfortunate situation in the conditioned material universe, that we are constantly punarapi jananam punarapi maranam punarapi janani jakare shayanam iha samsare bahudustare kripaya pare pahi murare. So this is said by Sri Shankaracharya in Bhaja Govinda. So Sri Shankaracharya says that this is the unfortunate situation in this material world, that we are constantly taking birth and constantly dying. Punarapi jananam punarapi. Punarapi janani jakare shayam. Constantly we are in the womb of one mother, in the womb of another mother, constantly. Iha samsare bahudustare kripya pare pahi urare. So Sri Shankaracharya says that this world, this material world, is very difficult to cross over. Therefore, O Murare, O enemy of demon Mura, please help me to cross over this ocean of nations. So this is the Samashritaye Padapalva Plavam, Mahat Padam Punyesho Murare, Bhavam Buddhi Vatsa Padam Param Padam 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 Yat Vipadam Natesham. So in this material world, at every step there is danger. And what is the danger? The danger is because of our misidentification with the body. Right? So I think that I am born and I am this body. Therefore, I am afraid that I will die. Immediately, I am afraid of that. Therefore, I am afraid that this body will get disease and I will be incapacitated. So all this is coming from, and that is what the yogas talk about pancha kleshas, the 5 kinds of difficulties or the challenges or the dirt that we have. And it starts with avidya. Avidya is ignorance. Avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, and abhinivesha. So the Yoga Sutra, Patanjali says in Yoga Sutra, there are 5 kinds of afflictions that the conditioned living entity has. It starts with avidya, ignorance. What is ignorance? Ignorance of our original constitutional position as an eternal part and parcel of Krishna. So when that ignorance is there, immediately there is asmita. What is asmita? We were talking about the mind, intelligence, and false ego, right? The separated energies. The false ego is asmita. What is the false ego? False ego is I am thinking that I am this body. So janasya mohoyam aham mameti. Pumsa sri nidhui bhavanetam tayo nidho hridaya granthi aho ato graha kshetra sutapta vittem janasya mohoyam aham mameti. So this is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. It is said that this conditioned existence is based on our attachment, right? And this attachment is basically in terms of mithuli bhava netam. So this is the when one is attached to the body, immediately when there is attachment to the body, the attachment exists in terms of whatever the body's proclivities are, right? So the body wants to enjoy a lot of things. So immediately I'm identifying myself with the body, and that is causing raga and dvesha, right? Raga is attachment, and dvesha is then aversion, attachment and aversion, right? So whatever I like, I am attached to it, and whatever I don't like, I am averse from it. Ichha dvesha samudbhena dvandva mohena bharata sarge yanti parantapa. Sarva jivanti samoha sarge yanti parantapa. So Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita that this samoha smriti vibramat smriti bhangshat buddhinashat pranashyati. So this samoha is this enactment with the material world, right? So basically, ध्यायते विषयान् पुंसः संगस्तेषु पजायते संगात् संजायते कामः कामः क्रोधो विजायते क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृति विभ्रमात् स्मृति भ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. So Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita that when we are meditating on the sense object, ध्यायते विषयान् पुंसः संगस्तेषु पजायते, we get attached to the sense object, and this attachment to the sense object is since time immemorial. We do not know when we have started taking birth in this conditioned material universe. So we don't know how many proclivities we have, innumerable, unlimited. So that is why Krishna actually mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, Devi Yesha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratya Mamevaye Prapadyante Mayam Etam Tarantite. So Krishna mentioned in Bhagavad Gita that this material energy of mine is divine. It is divine actually. Devi Yesha Gunamai Mama Maya. Krishna says this material energy is mine. And it is Duratya, extremely difficult to overcome, this material energy of mine. But how can we overcome the material energy? Mameva ye prapadyante. So Krishna says, if someone surrenders onto me, mayam etam tarantite. Krishna helps that person to cross over this. So that is what samashitaye padapalva plam mahat padam punyashu murari. So when one is completely surrendered at the lotus feet of the Lord, samyak rupena ashrita, total surrender, 100% surrender. Samashitaye padapalva plavam. So Krishna's lotus feet has been compared to the ship, to the boat that helps one to cross the ocean of birth and death. Insurmountable. It actually, from a conditioned living perspective, it is actually insurmountable. But if we can someone actually cross over the ocean by swimming? Do you think anyone can cross over the ocean by swimming? No, isn't it? What do we need? We need a ship to cross over the ocean. So that's why Krishna says that Samashritaye Padapalo Plavam Punyesh. So it is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam that when one is totally surrendered at the lotus feet of the lotus feet of the Lord is like the ship, which is helping us to cross over the seemingly unsurmountable ocean of birth and death. So Samashritaye Padapalo Plavam Mahat Padam Punya Yesho Murare. Punya Yesho Murare. So this is Murare, Krishna, the enemy of Venom Mura, and Punya Yesha. So his glorification is we actually see this in the Punya Shravana Kirtan. Hridayantasto hi abhadrani vidunoti suhrit satam. So Shrinotam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtan. Punya Yesho Murare. So this Punya is the very fact that we are spending our time in hearing and chanting about Krishna, that itself is very pious. So piety is the beginning. Yesham to antalatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvanto moha vinirmukta bhajante mam dhrudavrata. Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita that who can engage in determined devotional service of me? Krishna says, Yesham to antalatam papam. One who has stopped doing sinful activities, jananam punya karmanam, and one who has started engaging in pious activities. Te dvandva moha vinirmukta. So such a person is gets free from the dualities of material nature. So sukha dukkha same kritva labha labho jaya jaya tato yuddhaya yujjasva naivam papam avapsisi. So Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna that one who is sama is equanimity, equanimous mind. So and equanimity can be practiced very nicely in Ireland. How can we practice equanimity very nicely in Ireland? Because we think the next day is going to be sunny and immediately there is a lot of rain. Right? And generally people want warmth and sun and a lot of brightness. But some days, or most of the days, I was looking at one of the shops and there was this summer, winter, autumn and spring, and the shop was showing these sheets, and the sheets have the summer, they have the umbrella, winter they have the umbrella, spring they have the umbrella, autumn they have the umbrella, and the sheets are there. It's just showing. So this is one of the things that can be practiced at every moment. And so when our mind is focused at the lotus feet of the Lord, Savai Manaha Krishna Padaravindeyo, Vachamsi Vaikuntha Gunan Varmane, Karo Hare Mandira Marjana Vishushritim Chakara Chuta Satyapodaya. This is mentioned about Sri Kulashekar, who was the emperor of the world. But even though he was emperor of the world, his mind was always focused in the lotus feet of Krishna. And so therefore this love for the Lord is there in the heart of all the living entities. It's not that it is something external. So Krishna is present. Sarvasya chaham hridisannivishta mata smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita that I am the heart of all the living entities, and from me comes smriti, jnanam, and apohanam. Smriti is remembrance, jnanam is knowledge, and apohanam is forgetfulness. So all these three things are coming from Krishna within the heart. So, and how is this coming? Depending on what the living entity wants. If the living entity wants to forget Krishna, Krishna will provide all the opportunities to forget him. And if the living entity wants to remember Krishna, Krishna will provide all the opportunities for him to remember him. So this is the greatness of the Lord, that He is present everywhere. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtiha. Matsthani sarva bhutani na chaham keshavasita. Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita that I am pervaded in the form of my energy everywhere. And this is what we are talking about. The 8 separated energies of the Lord. Right? So we are talking about the false ego. And this false ego is what is causing raga and dvesha. This attachment and aversion. And then there is abhinivesha. This is the panchakleshas, the 5 impurities that exist in the conditioned existence. So there is attachment and aversion, and then there is fear of death. That is always there. Why? Again, because we are identifying ourselves with the body. When we identify with the body has a date of birth, and then the body has a date of death as well. When there is birth, there has to be death. When there is no birth, there is no death. So our original constitutional position is Nainam Chintanti Shastrani, Na Chainam Bhavati Tavata, Na Tvedyam Kapo, Na Shoshati Marata. Achedyo Hyam Adahyo Hyam Atledyo Ashoshe Vacha. Nitya Sarvagata Sthano Rachanoyam Sanatana. So this is what Krishna has mentioned about our original existence. So it cannot be cut by weapons. Achedyohim, adahyohim, we cannot be burned. Akledyo, we cannot be made wet. Ashosha, we cannot be dried. Nitya sarvagata sthano. So we are eternally existing, present everywhere. The living entity is present everywhere. Sthano, achaloyam sanatana. So, and we are sanatana, eternally existing. So this is what we were talking about, the perpetual bliss of Krishna consciousness. So we have talked about consciousness now. So now we can talk about Krishna. If we don't have consciousness, we cannot have Krishna. So first of all, we have to be conscious. If we are conscious, then we can become Krishna conscious. If we are not conscious, then we cannot become Krishna conscious. But it seems quite simple in terms of what I'm saying, but it has a kind of profound meaning. There is a saying by one of the person who says, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Again, it is just a play of words, but it has a profound meaning in it. So when we see everyone here, we are seeing the body. But what is the body based on? What is body without consciousness? Nothing. Literally nothing, isn't it? When the consciousness is gone, what happens? The body has to be either buried or the body has to be burned, or whatever way one follows. So first of all, one has to understand that there is consciousness and I am consciousness. So when we are in that state, then we can try and understand who is Krishna. Ishvaraha Parama Krishna, Sachit Ananda Vigraha, Anade Radhe Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. So this is mentioned in Brahma Samhita, that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. Ishvara Parama Krishna. And what is his composition? Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha. So he is composed of truth, eternality and bliss. And we are also minute. So Krishna says that Mama Eva Amsha Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, Manaha Shashtani Indriyani Prakriti Snani Karshati. Krishna mentions that all the living entities in this whole universe are my eternal part and parcel. Mama Eva Amsha. They are my part and parcel. Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Eternally. Manaha Shashtani Indriyani Prakriti Snani Karshati. When we identify ourselves with the mind and the five senses, we are struggling in this material universe. The struggle in this material universe immediately starts with identification. But if we are always conscious that we are eternally part and parcel of Krishna, there is no struggle. Why there is no struggle? Because the person who is surrendered unto Krishna will take everything as a mercy from the Lord. Tattenu kampam susamikshamaana bhujana devatma kritam vipatam vidvad vapurbhir vidadhan namaste jivete yo mukti pade sadaya bhav. Sadaya bhav. So such a person is actual inheritor of liberation. Now, who is the inheritor of liberation? One who can know that everything is mercy of the Lord. Everything. So the problem in the conditioned state of existence is we are always so whatever we like or whatever is conducive to our likeness, we are thanking God for that. And whatever comes which is not conducive for us, we are actually saying, oh God, why did you give me this? I did not want this. Why did you give me this? Right? So this is the conditioned state of existence. But if somehow or other akama sarva kama va moksha kama udara tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. It is mentioned in the scriptures that even if one has sarva kama, if one has lots and lots of desires, but if one is going to the Lord, that is a great quality. If one is recognizing the presence of Krishna, that is a great quality. And initially, in the conditioned state of existence, as I was mentioning, the person would be either distressed or a person wants wealth, right? So in that situation, if person is going to the Lord, akama sarva kama va moksha kama udharati. Even if one wants liberation, if one goes to the Lord, tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. So one can involve in bhakti yoga. Bhakti yogena manase samyak pranahite amale apashyatam purusham purnam mayam chatat apashrayam. This is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam about Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva was meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead through full loving devotional service. Bhakti yogena manasi samyak pranahite amale. When one is meditating upon the lotus feet of the Lord, all the impurities are totally taken off. This is what Narad Muni mentions in the definition of bhakti. What he says is sarva upadhi vivirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam hrishikena hrishikesha sevana bhakti uchyate. So Narad Muni mentions the definition of bhakti. And so Krishna and bhakti are synonymous with each other because bhaktya mam abhijanati yavani yaschasmi tatvata tato mam tatvato gyatva vishate tadanantaram. Bhaktya to ananya shaktya ahameva vido arjuna gyatum drishtam cha tatvena praveshtam cha parantapa. So Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita that when one has got ananya bhakti, ananya cheta sattamyo mam smarati nityasha tasyaham sulabha partha nitya yuktasya yogina. So this is when one is in love with the Lord, then that is the beginning of devotional service. And how does one love Lord? When one understands that aham sarvasya prabhu, matta sarvam pravartate. Iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samavita. So Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita that from me comes everything. Aham sarvasya prabhava, matta sarvam pravartate. One who knows this, iti matva bhajante mam. Such a person engages in my loving devotional service. And who is such a person? Buddha. Such a person has got knowledge. And how does he engage in loving devotional service? Bhava samanvita, with full emotions. Because that is the only thing that we can give to Krishna. Bhava grahi janardana. Murkham vadati when one knows that we are isn't it? So therefore it is really 100% the mind should be focused on all the syllables of the Lord. It is not about doing it fast and getting through the 16 rounds as soon as possible. It is more about how much of concentration I have on each and every syllable of the Hare Krishna mantra. And the more concentration we can have, the more we can experience Krishna at that moment. And it is, the chanting of the holy names is about experiencing Krishna. It is not about mechanical. Of course, mechanical also has got its, it's not like Sankete Parihasam Vaspova Helanam Evoha Vaikuntha Nama Grahanam Ashishada Haram Vidu. It is mentioned in the scriptures that if someone is just so initially people might not recognize the power of the holy name, and someone might just say, "Oh, here goes Hare Krishna," and just make fun of the people. So Srila Prabhupada actually mentions as well that they are getting piety when they are saying that. They are just making fun of the devotees and saying, "Hey, here is going Hare Krishna." When you say Hare Krishna, is God? He doesn't realize. The person doesn't realize that they have actually taken their first step in Krishna consciousness. And so it is just amazing. This is it's unfathomable. We just cannot, there is no, we cannot, in the conditioned state of existence, we cannot understand the unfathomable nature of the holy names of the Lord. It is, so therefore, thank you very much, Prabhu, for your question. I think it is a great question, and I know you know the answer. But it's a great question to say. Yes, I think we have to concentrate and we have to be present. Be present in the moment. And that's why I started with consciousness. Because if we cannot be conscious, we cannot be Krishna conscious. The first step is to be conscious. And how do we be conscious? When we are present in the moment. What happens is, physically I am present here, but mentally I might not be here. Right? My mind is either thinking about something that happened in the past, or it is going in the future and planning for the future, that I have to do this, I have to do that. So if the mind is not in the present, I am not in the present, even though body might be in the present. So therefore the mind has to be in the present. The mind has to listen to each and every syllable of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Fully focused, 100% focused. Then we are practically experiencing Krishna at that moment.
What if you are present, but you are present while going pretty quickly? Like, what if you fully concentrated on the mantra and hearing everything that you say and concentrated on saying it really quickly? That's difficult to say really quickly. And you're present and focused on it.
Yeah. No, actually what I've noticed is the speed actually helps us to focus as well. That is what I personally noticed is that. But that does not mean that we just say in speed without the mind being there. The most important thing is mind has to be there. When we are chanting, the sound vibrations, we have to listen to the sound vibrations, and the mind has to listen to the sound vibrations. So we can chant either slowly or we can chant fast. Personally, I have seen that chanting fast would make me concentrate more, actually. Because Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram, Ram Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. So, we're just concentrating at every moment we are concentrating that. Some people can be like Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Some people, I've seen one devotee who chants slowly and nicely, and that is also wonderful. Whatever. But the most important thing is that mind should be focused. Mind should be there, and that is very difficult. Krishna actually mentions Chanchala mi mana Krishna. No, like Arjuna mentions Chanchala mi mana Krishna pramati daravadridam tasyaham nigraham manye vayuriva sudushkaram. Arjuna, who is the best friend and devotee of Krishna, says that it is difficult to control the mind. So, what is the state of us? Then Krishna says, Asamshayam Mahabaho Mano Durnigraham Charam Abhyasena tu Kaunteya Vairagyena Chakrayate. So Krishna says that undoubtedly Arjuna, mind is very difficult to control, but through practice and renunciation, mind can be controlled. Yadhyat Nishcharpi Manashchacharam Astiram Tatastada Niyamyetat Atmanyeva Vashamhaya. So Krishna mentions in Bhagavad Gita that whenever the mind is going somewhere else, bring it back to the self. Bring it back to the self. One of our, there is an Advaitist, and they have this, they are focused on the Brahman. So their focus is who am I? So we are getting lots of thoughts. Whose thought is this? When you ask the question, whose thought is this? What do we answer? Mine, right? The next question is, who am I? Immediately I come back to the real question. I am an eternal part and parcel of Krishna. So immediately we are there with Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Any other comments or questions? Prabhu, please.
Some years back, we were chanting and coming down Grafton Street, where before we reached the bridge, that's one of the South Keys, there were 6 young boys. One of the 6 young boys said, "Oh, this Hare Krishna." And so I said to the others, "You see, he's good. The one of the 6 is a better person than the other 5 because of the fact that they mentioned Hare Krishna." The same thing happened when Prabhupada was on his walk in Mauritius, and a truck went by, and the truck was carrying sugar cane, and there were 4 people on top of it. They said, Hare Krishna. They all gave the hand. They said, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. The other thing is that we should convert our consciousness to Krishna consciousness. We all have consciousness, but we have to convert that to Krishna consciousness.
Thank you very much. Yes, absolutely, yes. But yeah, I think absolutely, because the thing about the consciousness is, it's quite interesting, the way we are structured. We have this mind, intelligence, false ego, and then the senses, and then the real us. The real us is stronger than everything else. But the way we are structured in this conditioned material universe, everything else seems to be more stronger than real us. That is the nature of the material world, because the senses are attached to the sense objects, and because the senses are attached to the sense objects, that's why it is Krishna. That's why it is mentioned that Krishna actually says, "Man manatho madhvatto madhyaji mamnamsuru mame vaishesi satyam te praticale priyosi mame vaishesi yuktvayam atmanam madparayam." So Krishna says that, give your mind to me, become my devotee, madhvatta madhyaji mamnamsuru. Say your prayers to me and offer your obeisances to me. Mame vaishesi satyam te praticale priyosi. Krishna says that, surely you will come back to me, Arjuna, and this is the truth. And I am telling this to you because you are very dear to me. Pratijane priyosi. Because you are very dear to me, I am telling this to you. So, yeah, I think the mind has to be focused. And where is the mind getting the power from? From our original existence. The real us. The power is coming from real us. It's, yes. The example that is given is that of a screen. Right? If a person, like we have a projector, for example, right? The projector is projecting things on the screen, and then when we are seeing things on the screen, we are actually in that screen. But the screen is, the self is like that screen, and the mind is projecting lots of things on the screen. But if the projector was not there, nothing can be projected. So that is the real us. And I think when we somehow or other, if we can concentrate on chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Let us say 3 times Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So when we are concentrating, what is happening is Cheto Darpana Marjana. We are actually cleansing our mirror. The mirror of mind is getting cleansed. And when the mirror of mind gets cleansed, we know our original constitutional position as an eternal part and parcel of Krishna. Then we know that Krishna can be seen at every moment. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanina, Santas Sadaiva Hrideshu Vilokanti. A person who is surrendered unto Krishna is seeing Krishna at every moment. So when we can concentrate on the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we can become engrossed in the perpetual bliss of Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much. Yes, ma'am.
One of the questions you were mentioning about where Krishna says concentrating the mind on the mantra, and that does seem to be quite a hard thing to do. And even Arjuna had a problem with it. And then Krishna said to bring the mind back under control of the higher self. So just in your own personal experience, how does that work? I mean, I could say from my experience that the mind just keeps on going. I don't not even aware, to think of bringing it back because it's just going. But just how does one build up that strength, to be aware, to bring the mind back when it goes?
Thank you very much. So Prabhu was asking, how does one build the strength to bring the mind back? Is that the thing? Yes, I think what happens is we go in the autopilot mode. And autopilot mode is people, I think the pilots know that quite a lot, I would say. You know, who do the long haul flights, they would keep the flight in an autopilot mode, and then they can do whatever they want. They just need to keep an eye on that. So I think this is what happens, and I can fully agree with you, Prabhu, that this happens. I think it's a practice. I think it's a matter of practice, because the moment we realize it has gone in the autopilot mode, we can come out of the autopilot mode. And I think we can do that. You know, I think the very fact that you have asked a question, it means that you know that. You know, so and when we know it, so knowing is knowledge helps us to conquer ignorance. You know, so when we know that it has gone in the autopilot mode, then immediately it will come out of the autopilot mode, and then it can go back into its original source.
It doesn't go back into the autopilot mode.
Sorry,
so long as it doesn't go back into
no, it will keep going. That is the nature of the mind. Chanchalam. So it is a nature. It is a nature. But the interesting thing is, the source of mind is in us. You know, it is within the soul. It's quite interesting. And the example given is that of if we are, you know, in this conditioned state of existence, we always want lots and lots of things. So I want a nice house or nice car. So I'm trying very hard to get that car. I get the car. What is happening when I get the car? The mind has gone into the source. And I'm getting the bliss, that momentary bliss, right? And then I think that the car has given me that happiness. No, car has not given me that happiness. So the mind is actually mind is really trying to acquire things. And it is going in the direction of acquiring things. And when it is going out, it is feeling very depressed. It comes back to its original self. It is happy there. So constantly, I think this is what is happening in the conditioned state of existence. We have a desire, the mind goes out. Because the mind goes out, we are feeling very uneasy. We get the desire, the mind comes back. And we think that the thing that we have is causing happiness. But that is not causing happiness. It is because the mind is constantly going out and coming back, going out and coming back. That is one of the examples that they give us in the summer. You know, if one has to travel, you know, it will be very hot. Say in India, in the summer seasons, that will be very hot. So a person can stay within the tree and get all the things that he wants, and he can be happy there. But if he goes outside the tree, he gets scorching heat, and then he comes back to the shade of the tree. He feels very nice. So I think this is what is happening in the conditioned state of existence. That the mind is always going out, going out, going out, and we are feeling very uneasy with that. And when we get thing, mind comes back, we feel happy. Then again, mind wants to go out. And the mind wants to go out because of our samskaras. The samskaras is the false ego. You know, we have built up our false ego on the basis of innumerable lifetimes that we have had. And in the innumerable lifetimes, we have lots and lots of attractions and aversions. And that is the reason the mind is kind of every time. The more the false ego is built up, the more it is difficult to surrender onto Krishna. Because the false ego is saying that I am this body, I am this mind. But actually, everything is Lord's. The body is Lord's, the mind is Lord's. Soul is Lord's, everything is Krishna's. But the false ego is saying that everything is mine. Janasya mohoya maham magati. That is why all like even if you look at all the world wars and everything else, what is the reason that is happening? Because proprietorship over the land. Right? They are saying that this is my country. I am very patriotic. But what is the person doing? This is that is the biggest problem, I think, the false ego. I think when we have that false ego, it is it is just dragging us down into the conditioned state of existence. And when we surrender onto Krishna, then we understand that we are eternal part and parcel of Krishna. That means there is no false ego. Then we know that we are eternally part and parcel of Krishna.
Yeah, it's interesting because what you're saying there is that the Krishna consciousness or the Maha Mantra actually has the power to actually stop things like the world wars in reality.
Absolutely, yes.
So it's quite powerful.
Absolutely, yes, yes.
We should be practicing that every day.
100%. Thank you. Yeah. I think Krishna mentions, isn't it? Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhe yatatamopi siddhanam kaschid mam veti tatvata. So I think it is very difficult for a person to even get a little bit of inclination for Krishna consciousness. I think it's a real fortune that we all are here and we have even a small inclination for Krishna consciousness. It is a great mercy of Krishna, literally. Yeah. So,
In Kali Yuga, the influence of Maya is when they get greater communication, and we ourselves will get worse and worse. That's why we need Krishna consciousness now.
absolutely, yes.
Not,
Yes. 100%, yes. And I think that's why there is this verse, Kale Doshani Bherajan, Yasi Eko Mahadgunan, Kirtana Deva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Bhajit. And this is said by Srila Shukadeva Goswami himself. So he says that this age of Kali Yuga is full of impurities, but there is one great boon in this age. Kirtana Deva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Bhajit. Just by singing the glories of Krishna, the chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukta Sangha Param Bhajit. One becomes free from all attachments and one reaches the transcendental state, which is ever blissful and ever peaceful, irrespective of all that different ups and downs that happen in the conditioned material world. Thank you very much. Any other comments or questions? I think we are quite about time, so there's nothing. Thank you all very much for listening so patiently and carefully. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Great.
Big thank you to Sanatana, Govinda, Prabhu, again. Haribol! So the next part of the program is that we're going to have the Aarti, and so you're doing the Aarti? Great, excellent. And so everyone could stand up and then face the altar. We're going to have some singing.
We've got two announcements to make. Next Sunday, we're going to have the 37th anniversary of Govinda in the Strat Island in County Fermanagh. And we have a bus going from outside the door there at 8 o'clock. It's going to return by about 7:30. there is an amazing program that's going on, and I think it starts off with choreography. So you have to get there early. You know, the 8 o'clock bus should be there by 10:30 or 10:15, 10:30, and provided there's no toilet breaks on the way, so you know what to do before you go, use the toilet. And then, because we want to be on time for going across, because there is quite weather permitting. Radha Govinda are going out onto their wonderful what is it? Palanquin, that's it, thank you. On the palanquin, we have a special palanquin for Radha Govinda, and not big Radha Govinda, but small Radha Govinda. And they go out and we go around the island. Most of the island, we're doing a small circuit. And then after that, it'll be very, very nice actually, but after that we're going to have the opening of the new daily storage area of Radha Govinda. So we're going to get Durio and the group who's going to come and going to cut the ribbon. And everyone is actually, this will be the only time that you'll be able to, unless you're Brahmin initiated, this will be the only time. So something to aspire for. The only time that you'll be able to go in to where the deities' clothes are, where all the changing takes place. So it's very, very special time. And it's because it's the opening, it's the first time anybody has seen it. So that will be for about 20 minutes, and we're going to have a little kirtan there as well. We're going to going around it's a beautiful place, by the way. Really, really nice. We spend a lot of luxury to do it, but it's for Radha Govinda, so it's not really a lot of luxury in a sense. But it's very, very beautiful, and so that's the highlight. You have to get there early for that. So then we're going to have a little then announcement of the project that goes on there. There's one of the boys going to explain what the future plans for the island are. And then we have Aarti, and then Class.by Durio and group. And then we're going to have an Abbey where we have Radha and Govinda are going to be engaged. So that's another amazing ceremony. You know, so please if you can make it for that. Then we have then something completely different. We've never done this before. It's a devotee called Jay. He's very well known on the on the rap scene. But his latest song is called Lord Nashida. And it's done in a very modern kind of way. But it's very, very it's very interesting because he's able to get to a lot of different audiences with this wonderful kind of singing. So he's coming over especially as a special guest for that. And that will be for about 45 minutes. Then the final part is that we're going to open Radha and Govinda's presents, their birthday presents, because it is their birthday. So people, if they want to, they can bring presents. I know Mahamantra or Hidajari, what she's doing. She's going over to India shortly. And she spent all the money she normally has for buying new paraphernalia for the deity, and then yet she spent it on the deity storage area because she just wanted, I want this. She wanted the very best for Radha Govinda. So she spent all the money. And in fact, such an amazing devotee. Her mum died about 2 years ago, and she got an inheritance from her mum. And she used every penny of her inheritance for the deity storage area. You know, so this is, we were talking about sacrifice earlier. You know, this is real sacrifice. It's a very special devotee, Mahamantra Devi Dasa, and so that will be about 3:30, 3:30 anyway. Then we're going to have a feast. But it's not finished there. There's more. There's two wonderful devotees, Amir Sundari and Jayananda Baruch. They're filmmakers, and they live in County Clare. And they've made this amazing film about Radha Govinda. It'll be the premiere of that film. I think there's a few little things she needs to finish with, but she's hoping to have the premiere. So before everyone leaves, you're going to see this amazing feature about Radha Govinda at that time. So that's what I'm saying. Don't leave early. This is amazing. This will be a beautiful day, and it'll be Radha Govinda's special day. So then eventually you can go back home then after that. Well, that's all next week. The buses are leaving out there. It's €30 per bus, or per person, sorry. And I think about 50 people. So we'll let you know if it's getting full, you know, that you need to book very quickly. But I would book soon. There's already about 15, 20 people booked already. And then on the 19th of August, we're going to have a famous procession through the streets of Dublin. And we'll be Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra, Lady Dasa. And we're going to hire, we've got this wonderful cart coming from London. It's actually 50 feet high. And we're going to pull Radha Govinda down O'Connell Street, all the way down O'Connell Street, and right in front of as many people as we can let them, that can see this wonderful spectacle. And then we're going to go down, we're going to actually go all the way to Merrion Square. But it's going to be an amazing event, because then at Merrion Square we have another kind of festival which goes on for 2-3 hours. There'll be chanting, there'll be dancing, there'll be drama. This is the drama maestro over here, the famous director, and Coach. So we have many people going to be in the drama. 10 people. Many? 12 people. So let me have Yamadutas here. Hands up if you're Yamadutas. He's picking them already. So we're gathering to become Yamaduta. And then we finish at about 5:30. Now we have a Go Get funding page, isn't it? So
yeah, we have a Go Get funding page.
Yes.
So I would request everyone to spread it and share it with your friends.
Spread it and share it with friends and family. Yeah, definitely. So that's important because there's a lot involved with that. It's huge amounts, it's huge expenses. I mean, actually, all the tours today, Sanjeev, so Bruce, they're getting everything very, very nicely at a very, very good price as well. Because the last time I saw a marquee down at Merrion Square, I asked the people who had it there what was the price, and they said 17,000 just for a marquee. Well, our devotees have done everything: chairs, marquees, tents, bringing the cart over. Everything they've done within a budget of 15,000, and we've already collected 3,000 individuals. So anyway, that's a special event, and you can also help from Go Get funding on that. Just to mention it, at that event as well, we're going to have a little table, and we'll show you about the future project for ISKCON Dublin, which will be a beautiful piece of land outside Dublin, and we will also have a beautiful temple on that land. Now, this does take a huge amount, but we've saved quite a bit. No, it's about 70,000 euros we've saved. But we have, hopefully coming up in the next year and a half, we're going to have access to either a loan from our temple in London, or a loan from, we don't know which yet. We're planning to buy the land nearby. We're constantly looking at the moment. But on that land, we have we're going to get some of the top architects in Ireland, especially because it's going to be an eco project. We want to do it as as green or whatever we call it, eco-friendly as possible. We want to do it as an example of how the Vedic civilization, which of course originates in India, is the most perfect culture ever in this world. Krishna appeared there, and if you go into the depths of the whole of the Vedic culture, you will see that. As I was asking Sanatana Govinda last week, Prabhupada wanted us to actually help the world, basically. This is what Prabhupada came at 7 years old, 8 years old. To say help, to spread this dharma, which would stop the onslaught of Kali Yuga, and will make it very, very peaceful for people to live. So we're making this so that people will be able to live nearby there, so that we'll be able to go there regularly and have wonderful programs. But we also make it as a demonstration of the eco-culture of India. In other words, where the cow is glorified. And we had a very interesting scenario in Israel in Govinda recently, and we were thinking we weren't going to be able to keep the cows there. But we've actually did a turnaround. We're actually keeping all the cows there on the Instagram and Govinda, and we're going to protect them. And there won't be such an example initially of milk, that's a very important aspect there. But we're doing it as a demonstration for the world at large that the cows should be protected. So that will be a pilot project, and then we'll take it down here in Dublin as well. This is something this is why we're buying some land, because it's a huge preaching project. We want people to know how to live properly in this world. And the Vedic example is the best example. It is there to give people hope in this world, because the world is, it's drifting into a very difficult and dangerous situation. But we still believe in Prabhupada's forecast is that the Vedic civilization will save the world in its great and its darkest hour. So each and every one of us is part of that. So that's why we will all try to get together as soon as possible and try to work towards making these things possible in service to Srila Prabhupada, in service to the Prabhupada, in service to Sri Krishna.
Sure. So in the past, we could the family can make Europe, and for individual person, for Europe. For a single person, we paid that, and I will get this support, and we decide election.
Okay.
And we go and
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Okay, sounds good. Thank you everybody for coming today. Thank you for the wonderful cooks and we're making peace downstairs. And thank you to whoever sponsored it. I wasn't given the name today, but anyway, thank you who sponsored it. Thank you to Sanatana Govinda, who has a program every Monday in the morning time. If you want to attend his Bhagavatam lectures, and if you want to attend Bhagavad Gita lectures, you have it every Friday evening at 6 o'clock. So that's from me, that's it. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.